Hello, hello. I am back to help you do this thing called life. So, we've been talking about Jesus, his temptations, his emotions, his responses to people, just all the things that surrounded him, made him who he was, how he won because he won every time. And yesterday, we were talking about Jesus being so skilled at knowing his team and talked about how important that was. And today we're going to pick up with the verse right after that, which is Luke 22, verse 14. And I'm not even doing the whole verse. It says, in the New Living Translation, it says, when the time came. I think in like King James and some others it says, when the hour had come. But at any rate, it's talking about the timing of God. And so many times we miss out on the timing because we're concerned with the time, concerned with how long it's taken, concerned with years, certain things we expect to happen by certain years. You know, I think back to when I was a senior in high school and we filled out our little senior books, and it's talking about when you're going to be married and what will you be doing in 5 years, or what will you be doing in 10 years. And we put ourselves on timelines. And then without even realizing it, we're also putting God on a timeline. But how many of y'all know? He is not moved by our timeline. But when the timing comes, you know, there are some things that God showed me back in 2001. And they were so real that I expected it to happen within the next 3 years. Some of those things I haven't stepped into yet. But what I do know is it shall come to pass. So when the hour has come, or when the time comes, God will allow those things to happen. And so I just encourage you, stay focused. Stay focused on your purpose. Stay true and loyal to your dreams. Everything that God has told you, everything that he has promised you, it shall come to pass. And in this instance, they were about to have the Last Supper. And I'm sure that wasn't something that Jesus looked forward to, but he knew that it was part of the plan. And so there are some things, the timing of some things we don't like. They're not necessarily enjoyable, but they're necessary. And so I just ask you to stay committed. Stay committed, whether it's something you've looked forward to or something you've not necessarily wanted. But know that, and I'm going to do a sidestep real quick, but it just fell on my mind. There were some revelations that came to me this morning about my own life and my present situation and some of the things that I was looking at. And I looked at them one way and felt hurt by it, and then ended up looking at it a different way. I remembered something that the Lord had told me. And this is necessary for the next step. It's so necessary. So I just encourage you all, stay in the timing of God. Stay in tune with God. Stay in step with God. And watch him perform every promise right before your eyes. This has been One More Minute with Marcy. I'll be back tomorrow with another moment of momentum-producing motivation. Until then, stay encouraged. And remember, you got to flutter before you can fly. But flying is in your future.